many years ago, I thought the only way to manage money was to spend less and save much. But in recent times, I've learned that investing is as important as spending wisely and building a saving culture. I mean, investing is how many HNIs, high net worth individuals in our societies, build wealth. In this video, I'm going to be highlighting some of the ways I've learned to grow money. So the first normally is saving in dollars. So this basically means you converting your naira to dollars and leaving it for a while. So you can do this on fintech apps like Piggyvest or Carrywise. So what you just have to do is to log into it and buy dollars. So with as low as 1,600 naira today, so the cost of $1 is about 1,600 naira. So with as low as that, you can do that. And then the rate at which you can access it is very, very easy. So if you want to access your money today, like let's say you bought dollar today and you want to test it today, and then definitely get it, right? But it is recommended that you leave that money for a long while, in fact years. So it is termed as a long-term investment. So because of the way the economy goes, the rate at which dollar rises is most times not, it's not sporadic. It is not every day or every month. It does, but in bits. So it rises almost like every week, every now and then, but in bits. So for example, as at 2023, dollar was late 2023, dollar was about 800 plus 900 naira. As at today, so 2023, 24, 2025. So as at today, it is now about 1516. So that does not happen in a matter of weeks. So that gap does not happen in a matter of weeks. So you have to leave it for a few years for you to see significant increase in your money. And then the risk attached to it is quite low. Number two is to lock your funds. So there is a feature on Piggyverse called Safe Lock. So what this means is that you keep your money on Piggyverse for a specific period of time. So within this period of time, you can't access the money. So it's very similar to the piggy bank that many people are very familiar with, that is Colo. So with Colo, you don't get interest. So within a number of, depending on how long you save in your Colo, that is how that is what determines how much you get, right? So but with Safe Lock, you have to like have the sum of money already, so you can't be topping it up like we do with piggy bank, but you definitely get an interest. And the beautiful thing is that you get it upfront, so you can do whatever you want to do with that money. So for instance, let's say you have your school fees that you're not going to be paying in a matter of months, or house rent. You can definitely lock that money to prevent spending it, and while locking the money, while keeping it away, you're also getting interest on that money. You can lock your money for as low as 10 days and to infinity. You can lock it for 10 days plus, for weeks, for months, or for years, depending on what you want to do. Another way to grow your money is buying shares. So this is like you buying ownership in a business. So when the company does well, you get the value of your money increases, and some companies pay dividend. That is, when they make profits, they give stakeholders or shareholders rather a portion of their profits. As at today, the share price of Zenith Bank is about 72 to 76 naira. So if you decide to buy something like that today, and Zenith Bank does well in a couple of months, years, like the company does very well, the bank does very well, your 72 naira is not going to be the same. The value of your money would have increased basically, and by then probably shares would be sold for about I can't assume, say about 150 naira. So that means your 72 naira has increased to 150. By the time you want to sell the share, you are selling it for a higher price. And then how easy is it to access your money? It's quite easy to access your money. So in a few days, you can, once you like try to withdraw, in a few days you can get your funds back. And you can start with as low as 1,000 naira. So the shares of some companies are less than 100 naira, less than 5 naira, some are less than 500 naira and all. So it depends on the number of units you buy. So you can start with buying just few units that you can afford, just to start building that habit of investing in shares. And definitely you have to be careful of the company you buy shares from. I'm not an expert in this. I'll recommend certain resources that are going to guide you in what shares to invest. The risk level is medium to high, because a company, anything can happen. A company can just misbehave, and the value of that company reduces. So it means that the value of the shareholders, the value of their money reduces as well. And on the flip side, the company can do extremely well, and that means that you are getting more value for your money. Another way is treasury bill. So with treasury bill, it means you are lending money to the government. So you get interest for doing this. So um, you can lend about, I think, from 100,000 naira upwards. But I discovered that ladder allows you to start with 10,000 naira. So it means with 10,000 naira, you can buy treasury bills. The duration actually ranges from 3 months upwards. So the least you can get is 3 months. So that means that you can access your funds for 3 months. So it's quite similar to the feature of safe lock, but this time around, the person you are lending the money to is the government rather than the fintech app, and the risk is low. Finally, you can invest in a viable business. So the risk of this is quite high, and it is based on you actually. So you have to be very careful on what you do with this amount of money you have. So the business you actually do with it. So you have to be sure that this business is going to work. And I recommend that you don't use all of the money to run that business. So let's say the money is meant for something else that you're not using, that you're not going to use very soon. For instance, school fees, right? So let's say you are going to pay your school fees in about 6 months' time. So you know that within 6 months you have to get that capital back. So you don't definitely pour all of the money into a business because of risk. Anything can happen. You can rather do like safer investment options. For instance, safe lock, um, saving it on fintech apps generally, or buying dollars with it. As for me now, I didn't invest all of my school fees, like I mentioned, in one investment. I didn't invest it in one way, so I didn't lock everything. I didn't buy dollars with everything and all, and I didn't do business with everything. So I took just a small percent of it to start a part business in my hostel. Anyway, I hope that you've learned a thing or two from this. I am definitely not a financial advisor. I've just had questions, learned, observed, and tried some of the things I discovered, and I'm sharing them with you. Thank you so much for your time.